Ooh.
Did you know that a seemingly harmless animal is becoming a global nightmare? Wild boars, the silent destroyer, are causing a series of serious problems from Europe, America to Asia. They not only destroy ecosystems, erode soil, destroy crops, but also spread diseases and threaten ecological balance. Can we control this storm called wild boars, or will they continue to dominate rural areas, national forests, and suburban areas? The answer is definitely no. As a hunter, I will not allow that to happen. The dawn is beginning to shine through the trees. I am ready for today's hunting trip, carrying the Boar 4X Marrow, a loyal companion in many previous trips. Beside me was a pack of elite hunting dogs, dogs that were familiar with this challenging task. As I was moving on the small road leading up the hill, I discovered strange signs in the gardens along the road. Large footprints were imprinted on the damp ground. The surrounding trees were damaged. I signaled the hunting dogs to stop and check the area. They quickly sniffed, barking loudly to signal that they had discovered the target. The barking led me to a nearby garden. In the middle of the bushes, an adult wild boar appeared. It had shiny black fur, weighed about 100 kilograms, and was gnawing on the tree roots. When it realized the presence of the dogs, it immediately ran away, rushing straight across the road to find a hiding place. At this moment, I raised my gun, calmly aimed and shot. A bullet hit the opponent's neck, and just a few seconds later, the wild boar collapsed. Without wasting any time, I continued hunting with the dogs for the next target. The dogs barking made the wild boar panic, trying to find a way to escape. I quickly moved forward, choosing a favorable position to intercept. When the wild boar suddenly rushed out of the bushes, I was ready. A precise shot hit the head, ending its life instantly. As if given more motivation, I and the dogs headed towards a hillside where the tracks of a larger herd of wild boars had been discovered. About 5 wild boars were gathered on the opposite slope, seemingly unaware of our presence. The first gunshot rang out, causing the herd of wild boars to panic and scatter. The chase became tense as I had to follow each target closely. Seizing the opportunity, I aimed accurately, chose the critical positions, and took down all 5 wild boars in a split second. Continuing the mission, we discovered another herd of wild boars lurking on the hilltop in the distance, seemingly sensing the pursuit and trying to escape. The distance of nearly 300 m was not too big of a problem for me. I quickly adjusted the scope, took a deep breath, and kept my heart rate steady. Through the lens, I chose a large male wild boar with long, curved tusks, a challenging target. 12. The gunshot rang out, breaking the silence. The bullet penetrated the thick fur and hit the left shoulder of the boar. It howled in pain, but its survival instinct made it rush forward. Quickly regaining focus, I pulled the trigger repeatedly. Although agile and flexible, the wild boar could not escape the fierce attack. I immediately moved towards the nearby bushes where the wild boar was hiding from the pursuit. Every step was cautious, because any carelessness could turn the situation around. When I was only a few meters away from the dense bushes, a roar rang out, full of challenge. The wild boar suddenly rushed out, its bloodshot eyes and sharp tusks pointing straight at me. Without hesitation, I quickly raised my gun and fired another shot and hit its chest. The powerful bullet made the beast stop, its rapid breathing gradually weakening. A long day ended. I had taken down more than 10 wild boars. Although tired, I felt satisfied with the results. The large, ferocious animals were now lying quietly on the ground, marking a successful hunt.
many wild boars in the mountains behind my town. All of them are huge and extremely ferocious. A serious threat to the surrounding fields. Recently, my grandmother complained about wild boars destroying her vegetable garden. When I had some free time, I invited a few friends to go hunting, hoping to scare the wild boars away from the fields. Will I be successful in this hunt? Let's find out. Wild boars appear in such large numbers that they sometimes lose their fear of humans. They gather in large groups on deserted roads and have no intentions of running away when they see us. Economic losses in agriculture are nothing new. They are becoming bolder, always looking to invade residential areas in search of food. No one likes these dirty, smelly, disease-carrying creatures in their yard. So we're doing everything we can to reduce the number of wild boars that appear here. We reached the top of the mountain quite early. The sound of hunting dogs echoed everywhere. It wasn't too difficult for us to find our first target. A giant wild boar was being fiercely pursued by my hunting dogs. It was too fat. Its speed was also slower, so it couldn't escape the pursuit. We followed the target, and as soon as it was in the most favorable range, a decisive shot rang out. It wasn't too difficult to start. I had just hunted a giant wild boar. It's been a long time since I've been on such a dramatic hunting trip. In front of me was a herd of wild boars, each one large, strong and agile. Across the road, I fired several shots in succession. My unique hunting style worked extremely well. We then continued to chase the fleeing wild boars. Dogs barked loudly, and I quietly followed, waiting for the right moment to act. As expected, dogs drove the wild boar out of the bushes. I quickly pulled the trigger. Continuous gunshots. I hunted down the target I wanted. In the forest, the chase was still fierce. We had to help the hunting dogs. So chasing the wild boars became easy. Moreover, the hunters here were all experienced, knew how to hunt these monsters. While ambushing on a trail, I guessed the direction of wild boars. The herd of wild boars was not too large. They were also extremely powerful destroyers. I immediately chased them and fired a few shots. The herd of wild boars was too fast. In just a moment they disappeared into the forest. With their pursuit at the end, I followed closely and took down 3 of them. I was not satisfied with that result. I continued to follow the trail, determined to destroy this herd of wild boars. Wild boars separated from the herd and ran away in panic. I did not hesitate any longer, quickly finishing off the target when possible. From the top of the high mountain, I only observed one wild boar. Its skin and fur were grey, so it looked quite strange. The running speed was not too fast. I also patiently followed. When it reached the right position, I raised my gun and fired an accurate shot. It was indeed a monster. Still fat wild boars lurking in the bushes, who were chased away by dogs. There were no way to escape. We stood on the opposite side of the mountain, choosing the opportunity when they appeared and started shooting. The method was much more comfortable facing them ourselves. Our ambush and dog chase tactics were still extremely effective. We did not miss a single wild boar that passed us. Gunshots rang out regularly. Wild boars were taken down one by one. Spoils of war were increasing, and we could not hide our excitement. There was still a large herd of wild boars appearing. They also ran away at lightning speed. Gunshots rang out constantly as all the remaining hunters focused on these targets. Sparse bushes could not help them escape, and we still had the visibility to aim and shoot. No one wanted to miss such a great opportunity. The whole group focused entirely on the hunt, although the herd of warriors tried to survive in the ravines of bushes, still tried to chase them. Slopes in the bushes, anywhere we could find the downed wild boar. And perfect coordination of the whole group of hunters brought great results. After the hunt, we had killed quite a few destructive wild boars. Certainly the number of wild boars left is not small, so we can hardly give up hunting trips. Thank you for joining us on this trip. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe. See you in the next hunting trip.
I had the opportunity to visit a friend's field. However, this place was being destroyed by wild boars, causing billions of dollars in damage every year. My friend was very worried, but could not do anything because their numbers were too large. And on this occasion, I will help him eliminate the danger. Under the early morning sun, the rays of sunlight dyed the vast grasslands golden. That peaceful space suddenly became chaotic when a herd of wild boars appeared. They rushed through, destroying everything in their path, leaving behind a scene of devastation. After many hours of following the ruins, I discovered my target, a large wild boar. It was chewing on small branches, its sharp eyes full of vigilance. I held my breath, slowly approaching, Each step was carefully calculated to make no noise. The distance gradually narrowed. I raised my gun, aimed straight at the target. Not letting the opportunity slip away, I immediately pulled the trigger. The bullet whistled, piercing through the thick skin. The pig paused for a few seconds, collapsing to the ground. Its breathing gradually weakened, blending with the strong heartbeat in my chest. The new trail led me up a steep hill where the wild boars were gathering. In front of me were about 10 pigs, from big to small, busy foraging. They were completely unaware of my presence. Quickly choosing a higher position where I could see the entire herd. Taking a deep breath, I raised my gun, aiming straight at the largest leader. The first shot rang out. The leader wild boar collapsed on the spot, followed by the screams of the entire herd. The gunshot echoed throughout the hill, causing the herd to fall into chaos, running in all directions to find a way to escape. In that chaotic scene, I took advantage of the opportunity, quickly aiming and shooting each one. The accurate shots took down a few more, causing the ground to shake with the sound of running, roaring, and heavy falls. When the chaos passed, the scene was left with only traces of the hunt, where instinct and skill had decided everything. After taking down the first boar, it didn't take me long to face the next targets. Another herd of boars appeared, and this time they were even larger. Among them, a boar with a massive body stood out from the herd, attracting all my attention. I aimed, keeping my breathing steady. The gunshot rang out, and the result was beyond my expectations. Not just one, but 2 boars fell at the same time. A perfect double shot. The remaining boars ran away in panic, but I didn't care too much. This achievement was enough to satisfy me. Back in the field, I was faced with another scene. A herd of wild boars twice as large was destroying the rice fields. The first group used sticks and shouts to drive the herd into a blind corner of the field. Meanwhile, the second group, led by me, was waiting in ambush in front. As the herd was pushed into the trap, I aimed and shot each one, accurately and decisively. The remaining pigs, realizing they were surrounded, began to fight back fiercely. They charged at the nearest farmers, but the close coordination between the two groups, along with the support of the gun in my hand, kept everyone safe. After a tense fight, the herd of wild boars was completely annihilated. The field was peaceful again, and this victory was a testament to the solidarity and determination of everyone. I thought the wild boars had been chased away from the field by me, but no, in a hidden corner, another herd of wild boars was still leisurely foraging. I quietly observed, realizing that there were a few large ones in the herd. After a few minutes of consideration, I decided to aim at the fattest wild boar. The gunshot rang out, and the boar collapsed. The wild boars immediately panicked, running in one direction. I quickly aimed at the others, focusing on the larger ones, but their running speed was too fast. The next shots were fruitless. I thought it was all over, but no. The remaining wild boars seemed to refuse to accept defeat. They gathered into a larger herd, led by a giant male boar, whose body was twice the size of an adult human. Their glowing eyes flashed from the bushes, as if signaling a final battle was approaching. As the leader charged, I immediately counterattacked. The gunshots rang out. Each pig fell, but the leader did not stop. It was like a ferocious tornado, tearing through space, charging straight towards me. I reflexively stepped back, trying to stay calm. I aimed carefully, waiting for the decisive moment. The last bullet left the barrel, flying straight into the beast's forehead. It paused, its giant legs swayed, and then collapsed right in front of me. The space returned to silence. Only my heavy breathing in the middle of the empty field remained. The battle was over, and the leader's fall was a testament to the courage and determination in this life and death battle.
In recent days, the city government has received information about wild boars entering the city, causing chaos in residential areas. Many years, they have only appeared in suburban areas and destroyed fields. So recent changes have made many people more worried. To protect the safety of the people, a team of hunters was urgently asked to hunt wild boars. Don't miss the thrilling moments in this video. Wild boars are now becoming a major threat in Spain. Large herds of pigs are not only destroying fields but also invading cities and rummaging through trash bins. People are facing traffic accidents and dangerous conflicts with these animals. Thousands of incidents involving wild boars have raised the alert level. Authorities say that to stop this destruction, capturing and destroying wild boars is the only solution. With a group of professional hunters, we set off for the mountains near the city of Consuegra. In open space, we prepared our hunting rifles, loaded them and aimed. Rugged rocks could not stop the pack of hunting dogs from hunting wild boars. It was no surprise that after only 10 minutes, our dogs were chasing the target with all their might. Speed was very fast, but I still wanted to try to shoot. Wild boar still tried to escape, crossing the slopes after many failures. My shot finally hit the target. Today's hunting trip will be full of fun. Continuing the hunting journey, we went deeper into the valley. Here the dogs followed the wild boars closely, barking extremely loudly and noisily. Wild boars that ran past were all shot down by me. The range hunters in ambush positions everywhere. Therefore, as soon as the wild boars appeared, they would not escape my sight. Reasonable tactics, many wild boars were destroyed. Wild boars here are not big. They are not friendly animals either. Their shaggy fur and sharp fangs make them extremely ferocious. That did not scare us. As soon as we saw their silhouettes appear, all eyes followed and were ready to pull the trigger. From a rather steep mountainside, a wild boar rushed down at an extremely fast speed. The gunshots were no less powerful, continuously ringing out to take it down. The wild boar tried to weave through the bushes, hoping to escape. A group of hunters chased them together, making their hopes of escape disappear. As soon as there was an opportunity, the hunters would immediately raise their guns and aim. Spoils were carefully collected by us. The pursuit of the wild boar did not stop. The cheers still echoed everywhere. The wild boar had no way to escape and was quickly shot down. It was not easy for them to escape in this situation. Panic made them lose control and could not find an opportunity. The more wild boars were killed, the more excited and determined we were to hunt a wild boar. Things did not always go smoothly. There were wild boars that were too agile. A series of shots could not take them down. Then, in a panic, rushed towards the hunter. It would be very dangerous to suddenly be attacked by a large wild boar, so we had to be alert to avoid it. After those tense moments, we focused even more on hunting wild boars effectively. Deep inside the valley, wild boars would occasionally appear. We cherished such great opportunities even more. So with careful preparation, the wild boars were exterminated. We didn't need to chase too much, because these mountains were too vast, and the wild boars ran too fast. Therefore, we chose to ambush on the spot. The trip proved that our method of hunting wild boars was very effective. Wild boars run very fast. They have no way to escape the dogs encircling. However, we also need to concentrate and be decisive in each shot to be able to hit the target. Just a little carelessness, we can be attacked by wild boars at any time. Our efforts lasted all afternoon because everyone hoped that wild boars would no longer appear in this area. These things were not easy. The sound of gunshots still echoed quite regularly in the space, which was a sign that wild boars were still very numerous. Only when everyone was tired, we could start to return home. Dozens of wild boars were killed, was only a very small part compared to the number of wild boars in Spain. His strong destructive ability will continue to threaten the lives of people here, if not controlled. Thank you for following today's journey. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe to support the channel. And see you in the next video.
Düştü.
Hello everyone, today a few friends and I will go on a challenging hunt to protect our fields. Over the past few days, wild boars have come and destroyed our crops, putting us at risk of having nothing left to harvest. Hopefully experienced hunters can help me deal with these destroyers. I can't wait any longer. Let's start the hunting trip now. Wild boars are causing nightmares in the fields where we live. They can destroy crops, causing heavy economic losses to farmers. The danger doesn't stop there. Wild boars also invade the streets, endangering people as they search for food. What's more worrying is that they can carry pathogens, spreading diseases to people and livestock, making the situation even more serious. Managers here have tried many measures, but there is no more effective way than hunting to reduce the number of wild boars. We guessed that the mountains surrounding the field were a safe haven for wild boars, so the group started hunting from here. On the drone above, we easily found the first target. Other hunters spread out and ambushed everyone. Following the barking of the dogs, the wild boars ran away in panic. As soon as they appeared in sight, we could easily aim and shoot. With many wild boars running away, I had to quickly hit as many targets as possible. I waited patiently at the most highly ambushed points. Wild boars tried to escape but still encountered the hunters. After a series of consecutive shots, some big fat wild boars were killed. The fierce pursuit of the dogs continued. Dozens of hunting dogs were in top spirits. Wild boars had no chance of escaping. After yesterday's impressive achievements, this morning we moved to the field near our house to check. Not too surprisingly, a large herd of wild boars was running across the field. In the car, I tried to aim and shoot a few shots. As not to miss the opportunity, the herd of wild boars ran further and further away, and we quickly chased after them. Look! The result of the last round of shots was a big fat wild boar. But soon after, we continued to chase the remaining herd of wild boars. We were hiding in the vast cornfield, but the group was still determined to search. Despite not having the best view, we still hunted 5 wild boars in one morning. until the evening I received information that there were many wild boars appearing in the area outside my grandfather's farm. Immediately I prepared everything and went straight to the farm. Sure enough, from afar, among the nocturnal animals, I found a wild boar, focusing all my attention on the target. I carefully aimed and shot as not to miss the opportunity. The wild boar was extremely large. I held my breath and pulled the trigger decisively. It was hit and rushed away at a high speed. I could not escape. The accurate shot successfully finished off the target. I continued to wander near the farm to look for other targets. In the dark, the black boars were quite hidden. Their eyes couldn't hide that. With the scope, I observed their every move. The herd had dozens of them, not too big, but they were also destructive creatures that could not be underestimated. It didn't take me too long to consider. I quickly pointed the gun barrel at the nearest wild boar and pulled the trigger. Everything went quite smoothly, helping me hunt the next wild boar. Our shot also made the wild boar run away, but it didn't take me too long to find the next prey. Continuing with not so big wild boar, tried to shoot its lungs or heart to be able to finish it off faster. When the gunshot stopped, I knew I had succeeded because the wild boar had collapsed on the spot. Although it was almost midnight, I didn't expect to encounter such a large herd of wild boars. They moved along the fence of the farm. Seeing this, I didn't miss the opportunity. Quickly aimed and shot at each wild boar. Although they tried to run away, my speed was not slow. The gunshots continued to ring out and the wild boars fell. The feeling of hunting was really great. At the same time, I also realized the danger of these wild boars. They were too numerous and were increasingly invading other agricultural areas. After several hours of tensely dealing with the wild boars, I had almost used up all my energy today. So I will return home to rest. As for these wild boars, I will probably find a way to deal with them tomorrow morning. Thank you for following this journey. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel. See you again in the next exciting hunting trip.
Prepare yourself for a wild boar hunt like no other. Helicopters roar overhead, guns are loaded, and below are giant wild boars wreaking havoc on the ecosystem. In this thrilling chase, it's all about speed, perfect shooting skills, and breathtaking action. Witness the destruction of 100 wild boars in a battle for survival, where everything is fast-paced, breathtaking, and ends with a surprise. Are you ready for a flight? The story begins on a rather uneventful morning. Calls are pouring in from farmers all over the area saying that wild boars are destroying crops. Our hunting team knows it's time to act. They're not just some furry, rummaging creatures, they've become farm terrorists, invading land,
plowing up crops and turning cornfields into battlefields. We immediately packed up and started our trip. The helicopter started, the blades spinning like a tornado. We quickly climbed into the plane with great enthusiasm. From the air, our view covered the vast land, where the wild boars were destroying. They were like mobile machines and not easy to approach at all. After about 15 minutes of flying, our radar picked up movement below. It was the first herd of wild boars. As the helicopter descended, the wild boars below us began to panic. Jack signaled the pilot to maintain a steady altitude, while Tom readied his weapon. And then, the first shot rang out. Perfect. A medium-sized wild boar was taken down instantly, with no chance of escape. After that, we planned to surround and continuously attack the next targets. The sudden attack caused the herd of wild boars to panic. They started running away and hiding in the surrounding bushes. But do you think they can escape? No way. The helicopter immediately followed, keeping the target in sight. Jack reloaded as fast as lightning. He aimed at the biggest boar in the herd. This one must have weighed over 200 kilograms. The hunt continued as we moved from field to field. Large herds of wild boars ran like crazy, trying to hide in the bushes, but with the speed of the helicopter, there was no way for them to escape. Every time a new herd was spotted, we circled, lowered our altitude and opened fire. One shot, one killed. Although they had split up and fled in all directions, with this helicopter, I could judge their direction. Not a single target could escape.